Good evening, everybody. How you all doing today? This is Yusuf Chowdhury. Give me a second here. Let me see if this thing works. Because yesterday I had a slight issue. All right, there you go. All right, I am live. It is 6:03 p.m. Central Time right here in San Antonio, Texas. How you all doing today? Okay, see, what kind of question do we have for today? All right. Let me see this. Let me see this one question here. This is from the awesome group, Digital Marketing Questions and Answer. It's a very good group in Facebook. So let me see. There was one right here that caught my attention. Let's see, where did it go? Where did that question go? Okay, let's see. What kind of question? Are you serious? What kind of question is this? What is this? Let's see. I'm new to content marketing, content writing and marketing. I'm working with a company, and they're asking me to give content for ads as well as social media post. How should I go about this? Okay. Well, the first thing is, I have to know what kind of too much light. All right. The first thing is I need to know what kind of business it is, right? What kind of business it is. That's the first thing. That's what would I ask you first. What type of business is this? What are they selling, right? And who is their target audience? So if we can identify, the nature of the business and what kind of service and the product they're selling and who's the target audience. And with the addition to that, I would also say if they have any competitors, right? Like who are their competitors, right? Once you get this information, and what does the product or the service do? Is there any benefit from this product? How does this product or services differ from somebody else, right? So now when they ask you to run ads, were they talking about Facebook ads or Google ads or Bing advertising? So you have to be clear on that. So ask them again what kind of ads they want you to run. And when it comes to social media post, then of course you do have to provide some sort of content that answers the pain points, challenges, and whatever their target audience go through, right? Something beneficial. So that's how you're going to put the images. If it's a product, then you have to talk about the 3 benefits of the product or what the product can do, that kind of stuff. Makes sense? So does that make sense? Are you serious? So get those first, then we can talk about, how can you basically write content for their social media post or write content for their ads, okay? By knowing the market, the audience, how the product or the service benefit the audience, and how you can use the images to basically share that or basically encourage the audience about that. So that's what you need to do. Make sense? All right. Let's see, any more questions here? All right, there's one good question. Let us see. Something about, I think it was about makeup or something. Let me see. Is anybody getting the notification of the live streaming? Did anybody get the notification? Because I have a feeling that sometime when I go live using like ecom or restreaming, I'm not sure if the audience are able to get the notification. I wonder sometime. Because yesterday, hey Christian, what's going on, my man? Good to see you, bro. You got any question for me today? Because when I go live directly from Facebook, for some reason, I have a feeling that there's a possibility that more people will get the notification. I'm like, Facebook, are you serious? Doing this sort of things? So Christian, what's going on, my man? How are ya? You got any question for me today? How is everything with you? What's new in your part of the world? Anything new? Okay. Here's another question here. Does SEO plugin helps with ranking? Okay. Well, here's the thing. If we are talking about plugin, I'm assuming you're talking about WordPress because only, from my understanding of what I know, only WordPress has the plugin for the SEO. So here's the thing. Typically, the plugin doesn't help with the SEO, right? Because even if you use Yoast plugin or Rank Math, you still have to optimize the pages, right? You still have to optimize the pages in terms of the on-page implementation, the on-page SEO implementation, like the title, the meta tag, the content, the schema tag, the headers, and the speed of the website, and the script in the backend. So you still have to implement those, but putting the plugin and activating it doesn't help with ranking whatsoever. The benefit of using Yoast or Rank Math is to help you as a non-coder to go back and implement those on-page techniques and categories, like the page titles, the meta tag, the content on the page itself, the alternative text, the headers, and all that stuff. You still have to implement those. So the plugins actually helps you to minimize your effort, because if you don't have the plugin, then that basically means you have to talk to your developer or an SEO developer who can go and tweak with the code. Because in order for you to do all this thing, you have to know a little bit of HTML or CSS and Java and PHP, some of those languages, so you can go back and put the web language, then the title tag on top of it, right? So that's why I don't believe the plugin itself helps. Now, there's some plugin out there that claim that if you install it and you can do so many crazy things. So by design, that's not possible, right? Like that by design, that's not how the search bot works, right? There is no fast and easy way of so-called doing ranking. In fact, anytime you find a plugin that claims such thing, you have to be very careful, right? The benefit of having those plugins is to help you to basically look at the pages and see if it's properly optimized. So that's what the value, that's what the benefit of having those plugins. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Any questions? Any more questions? So that was a good one. Yeah. So basically, the plugin really doesn't. Jason, what's going on, my man? Thank you for liking the video. How you doing? You got any questions for me today, buddy? So the plugin itself really doesn't do that much if you don't put the effort in. Because I get some folks telling me, well, I installed Yoast and nothing is happening. Well, yeah, because you haven't added, the page titles, you haven't added the quality of the content itself, how many words, you got to put those effort, but you let the plugin to help you, how to optimize it using the actual plugin. You know what I mean? So that's the whole purpose behind having the plugin specifically for WordPress self-hosted website. Now, if you have a website like in a Weebly or Wix or Squarespace, they do have options for you to add the page and the title tag and whatnot, but they're very limited in a sense that you cannot customize the schema tag, for example, because they're not going to give you access to their backend to make those crazy changes. You know what I mean? So you do have to look for, like I recommend, to build everything on WordPress anyway, because we build our client side on WordPress. You know what I mean? Anywho, so any more questions? Let's see. Let me check the messages here. What other question do we have? All right. Do we have any more questions? Wow, it is 6:13 p.m. Central Time. Okay, there you go. What's the first thing to look for when it comes to social media optimization? What's the first thing to look for? Well, that depends on exactly what do you mean by social media optimization, because that can encompass so many things, right? When you talk about social media optimization, it could mean, are you going to optimize the pages, right? And if you are going to optimize the social media pages, what does that mean? It means the brand color, the graphic, the information on the about section, the whole profiles has to be the same across all the social channels. So if you're managing LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, right? So you got to make sure that the background, the profile, the information, either all the same or similar, because in Twitter you don't have enough space to talk about your business, right? But in Facebook you have full space, same thing with LinkedIn. So that's one part of the optimization, right? The brand message, the color and the design has to match. Same thing with the website, okay? The second thing is, in terms of optimization, is how many times you are putting what kind of content, what kind of conversation takes place, what kind of engagement level, right? That's also part of the optimization. You can also look at all the links. So let's say linkedin.com/ your business name or your name. Same thing with Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. All has to be consistent. Makes sense? That's also part of the optimization process. And you also have to make sure that all the content on the site, all the informations are there on all the social channels on a consistent basis in terms of the theme, the message, the graphic, everything. So that's part of the optimization, right? So if you want to optimize it, you have to look and double check. Am I having all the messages consistent? Are the graphic consistent? Are the content that I'm posting, even though they might look different from Twitter to Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn, but is it the same message, right? How many audiences do I have on each channel? Are these followers are the same on all the channels, or are they a little bit different, right? So these are part of the optimization technique, making sure that your website available on all the social channels. Like in all the social channels, you have the website pointed back to your site. Then you also have to look at the analytics. Very, very important to look at LinkedIn analytics, Facebook and Instagram, even YouTube, to find out what's exactly happening with the posts, with the content, with the engagement. Lashanda in the house. What's going on? How are you? Where you been? Got any question for me this evening, Lashanda? Huh? Do you? So let me know if you have any questions. Any questions? I got a couple of questions here, and I answered a few of them today. So let me know if you have anything, something bothering you, huh? Something bothering, something you're stuck with, except for that Yusufat logo. That's the history. Okay, we can talk about that anymore, right? So let me know if you have any questions about anything you're stuck with, anything you are working on, something you need help with. So that was a good question about the social media. I've been well studying for my final. Excellent. Okay. Okay, let me see what other question that I got here. Let's see. Why blogging is important for business? That's a good question. It's kind of general. So why blogging? It says why blogging is good for business. Well, the thing is, think of it this way. Why blogging is good for a business? Well, think of it this way. One of the reasons that you will have a customer or a target audience that going to buy a product from you or buy the service from you. Okay, I have a question. Talk about digital marketing with YouTube. Dang, are you serious? Okay, let me answer this question first, and we'll talk about YouTube, Lashanda. Okay. All right. So the reason the blogging is important because think of it this way: one of the reasons that you're gonna get a loyal customer, whether they're gonna buy the product or the service, if you offer them some sort of high value, whether that's like teaching them how things work or the quality of the product itself is amazing. That's a value for them, right? I don't know. I just threw that out. Do people still read blogs? Heck yeah, they do read blogs. And if they don't, the search engine reads it, right? So think of it this way when it comes to blogging. When you talk about the product and the benefit of the product and the features and whatnot, or when you provide some sort of educational thing within your niche, when you provide those high valuable information, your target audience is going to learn from you, and when they learn from you, you build that credibility and trust factor. When that credibility and trust factor, builds up, that's what creates the for them to basically take action and buy your product and services. Make sense? So blogging has a huge benefit because you become the expertise in your area of the product or the service. Think of it that way. The second thing, in order for the search engine, the Google bots, if you want Google bots to send you more targeted eyeballs or traffic to your website based on what your audience is searching for, you have to write a lot of not just content, but content that benefits, right? Content that is so valuable to your audience on a consistent basis. Makes sense? When you do that, the search bot finds these informations and it indexes them and it brings you more traffic. That means more eyeballs, more link, more visibility, more exposure. Does that make sense? So that's why blogging is important, right? I mean, it does help with your website's search engine ranking, right? It does help with, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, about the credibility and establishes you as the expert in the area of your product or service. And it helps you with, which is something very, very important, it helps you with the maintaining your online presence. So if you have a website with no updated content on a weekly or monthly basis, how do you think the bot going to come back and reindex new information? They won't. Only once came in, that's about it, right? So it helps you with getting the exposure, and it also helps you to get the targeted leads that you want. You know what I mean? And the most important thing with most of the website, and that is to build an email list. So if you don't have a blog or any kind of amazing content that you want to share on a weekly basis, how are you going to collect name and email addresses, or how you're going to collect leads? You know what I mean? Do people still, yeah, okay. Does keyword help with digital marketing? Absolutely. How does people make money through blogging? That's a good question. So how do people make money through blogging? If you have a company, let's say you're providing a service, that helps you to sell your service, okay? Number two, if you are, let's say, a photographer and you blog about the latest and the greatest of all these awesome lenses and cameras and whatnot, and you acquired huge list of followers, so people actually subscribe to your list to read your reviews and the blogging about the latest and the greatest, correct? So once you acquire or accumulate amazing loyal readers, let's say close to 5,000, and every time you do a review on certain of these cameras or lenses and equipment and whatnot, you can have an affiliate program with these companies like Sony and Nikon and whatnot. When people click on those links to purchase the product, you get paid commission. That's one way to make money. Now, another way to make money, and AdSense, which is very old. AdSense to me is like the lazy way of making less money. Okay, that's what I'd say. You can also do offer like a membership. Like if you want to teach people how to do photography, you can sell that training, whether on a monthly basis or a one-time fee. You can also write an ebook and sell it to your members. You can also do consultation because you have a bunch of loyal followers that read your content. Makes sense? You can also have sponsorship money. So let's say companies like Sony or Nikon and all these camera companies can pay you to sponsor about the latest product. Yeah, so there's so many ethical ways of making money just through blogging. How can you find a good keyword to target your market? There are many. That's a nice question, Lashana. There's so many tools you can use. You can use keywordseverywhere.com. It's a Chrome extension that you can plug into your Chrome extension and see what kind of popular keyword comes up. You can also use answerthepublic.com to see what kind of popular question people ask. You can also use Google Keyword Planner, which is free. Okay, so everything I mentioned to you, it's super free. Now, you can also utilize paid tools, but that's going to cost you some money, like SEMrush, SpyFu, Keyword Spy. But if you want to use the free one, as I mentioned, Keyword Everywhere extension, Google Keyword Planner, Answer the Public. You can also utilize Screaming Frog. It's an application. You can also utilize SEO Suite tool. They do have a paid version, but they also have a 80% free version that you can utilize it. So there's so many tools out there that you can actually use to analyze and find out what your audience are searching and typing. Christian, the first point makes me understand what blogging is all about. Yes, because blogging, you have to understand, you don't want to do the blogging just for the sake of search engine, even though that's how it works. That's how you get the visibility to your website. I have a friend from Turkey who's he's in the medical field, but he's also a programmer and a coder, which is something I haven't seen people like in the medical encoder, but he is. So he writes tons of amazing content on the subject of open source software for medical industry, cybersecurity and whatnot. He's been doing it for a year. I mean, he probably writes like 3 or 4 blogs per week, right? And now companies trying to offer him a sponsorship money because he got so many views, so much traffic, and so many ranking. So yeah, blogging really helps. I mean, it has so much value, not just from the search engine point of view, but also from your customer's point of view. If you provide amazing material about your product and services, that's how you build credibility. That's how you build expertise, right? So that's something very good to have. Is copywriting important in blogging? Well, copywriting is actually a technique. I'm not good at it. You have to know somebody how to copyright. Most of the copyright that we use for like ads, banners, messages, advertising, even sometime on the front page of the header of the website. But copyright has a scale where you can take the interest of your target audience to basically take some action. So if you want to learn, that's good. Because if you know how to copyright, then the content that you're going to write can help your target audience to be basically convinced. Not necessarily, to basically be convinced, right? Because what happens when your target audience search for information, they go to Google search, they find an article, they find the blog, and when they enjoy it, guess what happened? They dig in deeper to other pages within your website, and from there, they end up buying your product or service. Make sense? But it's very good to learn how to do copywriting because that's a skill I'm personally not good at it, so that's why I have a team that do copywriting. In fact, one of the top people that I know are the best in copywriting personally is my friend Nabil Aziz from Dubai and Misha Hairi. She's from here from the state. These two, they're amazing when it comes to copywriting. You can see how Nabil sometimes gives some live streaming and some webinars and some tips on how copywriting can actually increase the conversion of your email open rate. It can also increase the conversion of your website conversion. So yeah, copyright is something good to learn and good to have. Okay. So Lashanda, any more question about blogging? Should we jump to your question about YouTube? But let me show you some of these tools about the keyword that you were asking for. Let me show you keywords everywhere. Screaming frog. Let me show you some of these tools that you might utilize it. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Are you serious? So this is oh, what the heck is sorry? Cell is over. Okay, well, whatever. Let me remove this. This is so old. Why are you going to Christmas? Are you serious? So here we go. This is the oh, not this one. Come on. This is the keywords everywhere. It's a free Chrome and Firefox extension. It helps you to basically pick the most popular keyword within any niche. Okay, and you can do it from the browser itself. So you can basically go to Google and type any keyword. Then on your right hand side, excuse me, a pop-up box will show up, and you can download all this keyword in an Excel sheet, Excel file. So check it out. Yes, keyword everywhere. Okay, it's an amazing free tool. We add search volume, cost per click, and competitors data to all your favorite website. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so check it out. It comes for Firefox and Chrome. Okay. I mean, they have the free version. They also have the paid version. But use the free one. All right, use the free one. So that should help. Taylor, what's going on? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you do? When you do? Sorry, I'm trying to do that. What to do? What do you do? Do you do okay when you try to present online for a vape shop, which is a restricted category? That's an excellent question, Taylor. Unfortunately, with the so-called vape shop or the CBD kind of shop, you cannot run online ads. That's it. You cannot run Facebook ads, Bing advertising, or Google ads. But there's a workaround. You can still use the organic search engine and the organic social media strategies in terms of putting videos, content, stuff like that. That's what's going to grab it. Secondly, there are some companies where they can take, we call this like a display ad. So basically, you can have some sort of a banner or graphic displayed on some of the certain networks that this company will let you advertise with them. So there are some companies like that. So they can, if they want to utilize advertising, then they have to look for companies that will allow them to basically have these vape shop to be advertised on their platform or with their partners. They could be different kind of niches, different kind of websites that allows the banner. That's the one way to run the ads. And in fact, remind me later on, because I found one company, because somebody asked this question before, but I don't remember exactly what is it right now. So I had to pull that information. There was one company was offering online advertising on a 7 network, okay? But when it comes to organic things, then of course they have to utilize the blogging, they have to utilize like videos, social media to basically market themselves. And since they are local business, they do have to utilize the local listing, which is the Google My Business page and the Yelp and whatnot. So they have to be active locally. That's what I would do. Okay. So Lashanda, yeah. So keywords everywhere. Answer the public. That's another important tool that even the vape shop can use to understand what kind of popular question people ask within their niche, and they can use the question to basically write a blog or social media post or do a video, right? Screaming Frog. Let me see. This is Lashanda. This is another application tool right here. It's called One Platform All of SEO. They do have a free version. You can download this application to your machine, whether it's Mac or PC. So you can do like rank tracking, website auditor. You can spy on your competitor, and you can also do keyword analysis. Okay, and the cool thing about it, most of the stuff is free, but they also have a paid version. Okay, so check out this one too, SEO Power Suite. Okay, and of course, don't forget Screaming Frog. It's also a free version, but they also have a paid version for like I think it's a lifetime membership for the paid. This is like more like an old school tool. So this basically pulls everything, keywords, backlink, all the cool stuff. So check out some of these tools, okay? The Keywords Everywhere, Answer the Public, Screaming Frog, all-in-one SEO software, and don't forget the Google Keyword Planner, or the actual Google itself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So Taylor, let me know if I was able to answer your question. Vanita, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, hi. One thing, what is it? Man, I'm not good in English. Hi, wanting an e-commerce business. What software can get to track inventory, and what platform can you recommend? That is an excellent question, Vanita. So if since we've been talking for quite some time, you're not a coder, you're not a programmer, those things will give you headache. So if you do want to invest with companies that has the backend payment set up and all the inventory that you can put on the backend, then I would recommend Shopify or BigCommerce and Squarespace. But I would definitely say Shopify and BigCommerce because they do specialize in e-commerce platform. But the thing is, it is not like WordPress self-hosted because you're still paying them on a monthly basis. You're utilizing their platform. If you want to change or switch, you cannot switch to a different platform because it's a proprietary, right? But for like $45 a month, it has everything that you can drag and drop, upload your product. It's set up with the payment gateway. So whatever payment go through, they have their own system on the back end. So to keep things easy for you within your limitation, then I would suggest Shopify or BigCommerce, okay? Thank you for tagging your awesome friends. Platform to host business. What site is this? Which one? What site is this? I'm just reading right now, Rashonda. What site is this? Are you serious? Thanks. I'll watch the replay. My mom is Hey, spend time with your mom. Come on. What are you doing here? I'm doing good. I want to buy from Alibaba, sell those products. Taylor, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. If you have any more question about the vape shop, let me know, because the only challenge right now, as I mentioned, that the advertising platform don't allow it. But remind me later on if I don't send anything for you today, send me a DM message and let me show you what company does that. Now, here's another thing. If you write amazing blogging material based on the Answer the Public, right? You looked at the Answer the Public. There's another, yes, BigCommerce.com and Shopify. So there's another advertising service. It's called Taboola. Taboola. We use Taboola, and back in the day, we used to use Outbrain. Outbrain. Let me show you this. So what you can do, Taylor, is that, let me show this thing real quick. So you can definitely use Answer the Public if you type like, Vapor Shop and see what kind of questions, most popular questions that your audience asks. When you click on those questions, it will take it to Google. Then it will show you what kind of content and businesses within the vape shop showing up. So you can take those information and rewrite your own content based on your own expertise and knowledge. Then, and of course, everything is organic. Then what you can do, this is something I am still not sure, but let me ask my team. Because I know Taboola, what is it? Taboola and Outbrain. So what they do, they basically run ad for your content on a major news website, like Newsweek, New York Times, whatever. So that means your blogging material will show up on those like these websites. See? Is going to show up on these websites. People think that's part of the Bloomberg, but it's actually your ad. But the ad will take the readers back to your website, to your blog post. Now, I just have to double check to make sure that if the vape shop or the CBD is still allowed. That's the one thing I didn't check. But let me ask my team to double check and make sure that if you're allowed to run an ad because it's a content. So you're running an ad to a content, like, how to and whatnot. And you are writing the content based on the popular question people ask from here. Make sense? So I hope that's going to help you. But don't forget, for a local business, you do have to have the local listing. So go to moz.com, moz.com/local, okay, /local, and put the name of your business and the address and click search. Then moz.com will show you out of the 10 local listing which area you claimed it and which not. You have to dominate this, even if you don't have a website. Excuse me. Okay, so make sure you have the the local listing 100% complete for like Google My Business Page, Yelp, Facebook, Bing, Super Pages, Hot Frog, and so forth. I need software that will manage inventory, so when merchandise comes in, I tag and scan to track purchase. Unfortunately, that one I don't know. That is called what is it called? OPS. There's a name for it. That's a whole different company. I don't know which software. I will definitely look into it, but I don't think it's most of OPS. I forgot the name. There's some name for it. And when supplies are running low, well, yeah, that's something I don't know. I mean, even if you get supply coming to you, you have to manually enter those, right? I know there's a name for it. I have a client who used to actually build software for that, for local stores for inventory. I don't know, OPS, something like that, for inventory. So why AliExpress? The thing with AliExpress, I mean, the product is from China, and it takes forever for those products to get delivered. And most people buy from Amazon because of the Prime, right? The Prime. They get the product delivered fast. Lashanda again on YouTube. Do you talk about monetize YouTube? Right now, OPS, yes, OPS. I think it's OPS. I'm not sure if it's OPS, but I gotta check. Lashanda says, do you talk about monetize YouTube? Well, when it comes to monetizing YouTube, right now it's kind of a little bit difficult because on a certain value, if you have like a 10,000, views or subscribers, then you're going to become part of the YouTube program partner. You can get monetized through viewership level and through the AdSense and through the ads, but also through the sponsorship. I have a good friend of mine here. She runs this amazing company called Webtegrity, one of the best WordPress design development agents here in San Antonio. So she does YouTube videos on WordPress, like 3 to 4 videos per week. She's been doing it for like 5 years, right? And now with like sponsorship and affiliate and commission and YouTube, I mean, she makes good money per month. I mean, really good. But it took almost like 5 years, right? That's how she's monetizing. But a lot of things has changed right now because of the so-called unfortunately, that's why I tell a lot of businesses, you don't want to depend 100% on these social media platforms because you don't control it. They can shut you down. They can censor you anytime. So that's why you have to diversify, right? There should be other ways to really monetize using YouTube. I want to sell on Amazon and eBay. Yeah, okay. If you want to sell on Amazon and eBay, then why do you need Shopify and BigCommerce? You can just connect those products to Amazon store and ship the product to Amazon and sell it from there. That way you don't need, for right now, eventually. I mean, eventually you have to have your own company where people can buy the product directly from your website, okay? So for now, you can have those products sent to the Amazon warehouse, and from there they can basically ship it, using the FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, okay? So any more questions? Let's see. Let's see. There is a deal. Okay, I get a quicker response on YouTube. There's a deal on Facebook. Okay, that's cool. So you get fast response on YouTube. That's good. So, got any more questions? Any more questions, folks? Come on. Well, I want people locally buy from me as well. Okay. If that's the case, then you need to have those. Here's the thing. Even if you want people to buy from you locally, you can still have it from Amazon. I mean, Amazon is the most, like largest e-commerce search engine in the world. You know, so they can still buy it from you locally from Amazon. But if you want them to buy from your own website, then you need to have this product either on your own storage place or connected somehow with the shipment company. You know what I mean? All right, it is 6:42 p.m. Central Time. Do you have any more questions? Christian, yes, how to create a YouTube account? That's easy, man. Just go to YouTube and type how to create a YouTube account. If you have a Gmail account, Christian, by default, you have a YouTube channel. Okay, that's it. If you have a Gmail account, by default, you have a YouTube channel. So what happens with YouTube, and I know this is a question that Lashanda asked in the beginning. I didn't cover it that much. So when it comes to YouTube, as I mentioned, you have, if you have a Gmail account, you have access to YouTube by default. Now, when it comes to YouTube, there are certain things you have to take into consideration. So the plan was for me to store it. Okay, are you going to store it on Amazon or at the storage or at your home? How are you going to do that? Because when it comes to e-commerce, back in the day, when we used to make product, we used to,